We have a couple hours before crypto czar David Sachs is going to hold a press conference to secure America as the digital asset leader. And we have some rumors, some notes about what he's going to be talking about. Actually, 5 different things relating to Bitcoin, relating to crypto, relating to cryptos that won't be included, and talked about. We also have some updates on the tariff situation. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, there's some links underneath the video. BTCC, where you can get a 10% deposit bonus on your first time deposits. You get lower trading fees. BitUniX and WEEX, CoinW, Blofin, all these exchanges are fantastic. You don't need a KYC, you don't need a VPN, of course. Read their terms and conditions, do your own research, all that good stuff if you want to start leverage trading, or you can also spot trade on the platforms too. Make sure you know what you're doing. If you have questions on all that, I just filmed a question and answer for our Patreon. If you have burning questions, you can join the Patreon and Joe or I will answer them for you. Also, you can join and see exclusive videos. You can talk with other people, other like-minded people in crypto. So definitely check this out underneath the video. Bitcoin has fallen down just a little bit since yesterday. It was at 102. Now it's at 99. Maybe some of that is tariff related. Maybe it's just because, we moved up very quickly. Bitcoin went up $10,000 in a day. And now it's just cooling down a little bit, like a reversion to the mean, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. We have a couple big things that happened yesterday and a big thing that's happening later today. We had the news of the executive order calling for a sovereign wealth fund yesterday. Senator Lummis says this is a big deal with the Bitcoin B, indicating that they could be having Bitcoin or holding Bitcoin in this sovereign wealth fund. I think that's fairly likely. And just an idea on what this could look like with the U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund could reach 5 trillion AUM pretty quickly. For context, Norway's fund holds 2 trillion and they have a population of 6 million people. 10% allocation to Bitcoin makes sense. So about $500 billion worth of buying over the next couple of years. This is bullish. Let's also look not just at how many people are in Norway, but let's look at Norway's GDP. 485 billion in 2023. USA GDP 27.3 trillion. So I mean, the GDP of the US is 50 times bigger than Norway. So that could be an indication that we'll have a bigger sovereign wealth fund too, right? More capital to pull from, essentially. And I know that GDP isn't necessarily capital, but more that they can tax and all that kind of stuff, or just a larger pie. We have an update on the tariff situation. President Trump talked to Trudeau yesterday. He talked to the president of Mexico, and they're sending personnel to the front lines. They're spending money as well to try to stop the flow of fentanyl. So basically, Trump was able to change things in 2 days by threatening tariffs. Now we have an update on China. Apparently, they're threatening 10 to 15% tariffs on oil, agricultural equipment, coal, and LNG, along with looking into Google as well for antitrust violations or something like that. So kind of interesting. I don't think it really affects Google much, but this is retaliatory, just like we saw on Canada and Mexico. Canada said that they were going to come out and tariff the U.S. as well, but I'm not so sure this is going to go through. Right? They threatened the 10 to 15% tariffs. Trump negotiated with Canada and Mexico in just a few days. So what's to stop them from also, talking with China, figuring something out? I think this could be part of the reason that Bitcoin's fallen just a little bit today. But by the time you're watching this, maybe Bitcoin's not even down anymore. I think this will clear itself up. Also, China, if they do have tariffs, they've already said that they're going to have unlimited stimulus. That's been what's come out of China, that they're planning on unlimited stimulus. Last fall, they talked about even propping up the stock market, having government funds go buy back stocks. It's kind of unprecedented, but they're talking about throwing a lot of money at the problem, which could increase the money supply, which could help out cryptos, specifically Bitcoin, which is in scarce supply. So yeah, this tariff situation is interesting, but I think it's overblown in a lot of people's minds. Now we know that there's going to be a press conference at 2:30 today from David Sachs, who's a crypto czar, and he's going to try to trying to secure America as a leader in the digital asset ecosystem. There's some rumors about what he's going to talk about. It will be heavy on Bitcoin and timelines. Discussion of the sovereign wealth fund, timelines laid out to propose legislation, and the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Yes, I expect there to be America first rhetoric with safe with the sovereign wealth fund and crypto, and reiterating no XRP. Okay, a couple interesting things here. So I like the fact that they're talking about timelines. That gives crypto holders something to look at. It gives us some kind of catalyst and a timeline for that catalyst. The sovereign wealth fund came out yesterday. It sounds like they're going to try to add crypto to it, add Bitcoin to it, and the strategic Bitcoin reserve. America first rhetoric is interesting because a lot of people would say that XRP is part of the American cryptos. Let's look at, sorry for that loud noise. Let's look at made in the USA. XRP is number 1 on the list on CoinMarketCap, but yet they're saying no XRP. I know there are a lot of XRP fans out there, so we'll have to continue to watch. But obviously, Brad Garlinghouse is very tight, or has met with Trump several times, right? So he's at least kind of pitched him on the idea of XRP, what they're doing at Ripple, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting, but it seems like they're going to be buying cryptos more now than ever. But we have a couple hours to wait to see exactly what is happening. El Salvador bought another 11 Bitcoin worth $1.1 million for their strategic reserve. They continue to add, right? They missed a few days last month, but then came back pretty strong with some big buys. Semler Scientific acquired 871 Bitcoin for $88.5 million and has generated a Bitcoin yield since July 1 of 2024 of 152%. They hold 3,200 BTC. So SMLR, January 1, I believe, is when they started buying, like you said, which they are up since that time. Let's go to exactly July 1. They're up 50%. If you look since the bottom, September, they're up 117. So they've performed very well, and they hold a lot of Bitcoin. Right now, their market cap's around 487 million, and they hold 3,192 times 100,000. They hold a significant amount of Bitcoin, about 319 million. Okay, so yeah, they've been able to buy a lot of Bitcoin in a short period of time. MicroStrategy has not been buying. Yesterday, they said, hey, this is the first time that we haven't bought in a while, but yeah, they've given some indications that they're going to be buying again here soon. Corey Klipstein from Swan says MicroStrategy always pauses its Bitcoin buys heading into earnings calls. That's why they bought the previous 12 weeks since their last call. Weekly buys will restart now. The X feed is incredibly low signal right now. So yeah, the fact is MicroStrategy is going to continue to buy Bitcoin. Right? This is a temporary blip or a temporary pause, but I would not be surprised to see them with a pretty large buy in the next week. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you want to trade cryptos, there are links underneath the video. Thank you so much for watching. Be on the lookout for that crypto news. I'll be making a video, I'm sure, later today. So hit subscribe if you want to see that from me, and I'll see you in the next